All right, let's work on another verification problem here. And this one I want to work on simplifying cosine, or verifying cosine over 1 minus sine is equal to 1 plus sine over cosine. We've got a couple of different options here. It's not maybe clear which one is the most complicated side, but I'm thinking we should work on the left, although if you tried it on the right, it probably wouldn't be that many more, or that fewer of steps. But anyway, let's work on the left and you'll see why that works out nicely here in a second. I'm going to take this cosine of x over 1 minus sine of x. And I'm going to use a technique here that is going to give us a Pythagorean identity. See, right here, I don't really have any moves to make. I can't use any identities. Like, it's not like I have a secant up here. I could maybe change to 1 over cosine or something like that. There's no Pythagorean identities at this point. And so I'm going to give myself a Pythagorean identity in hopes that it will help me get closer to this fraction over here. So to do that, I'm going to multiply the top and bottom here by 1 plus sine of x divided by 1 plus sine of x. I'm sorry, multiply the top and bottom by 1 plus sine of x. All right, and when I do that, on the top, I'm going to get cosine of x times 1 plus sine of x. On the bottom, I'm going to get 1 minus sine squared. 1 minus sine squared of x. Okay? You might be inclined to distribute here. You should not. Okay? Don't distribute until you see that it might be valuable, because lots of times factoring is actually more helpful. So pause your impulse to distribute. We're going to leave that for a second. I'm going to notice here that I built this Pythagorean identity, and it's actually going to be helpful. So 1 minus sine squared is cosine squared. So I get this. Cosine x times 1 plus sine of x divided by cosine squared. Now you can see here I have a cosine to the 1 power on top. I have a cosine squared on the bottom. These things are being multiplied. So what I can do is simplify one of these cosines out, excuse me, so that I end up with 1 plus sine on top. Just to make that totally obvious as to why this works, I can write this as cosine of x times 1 plus sine of x divided by cosine times cosine. This piece of the fraction simplifies to 1 over 1. So I end up with 1 plus sine of x divided by cosine of x. And that's what I was trying to prove. So this is a really common and useful technique. When you don't have an identity, see if you can build one in. If you don't have a Pythagorean identity, see if you can build in a Pythagorean identity.